What did he say? That I should release him from his cage and face him in hand-to-hand combat? What's this? I've got to save Claudius?
When was the last time you watched an animated movie? How about a hand-drawn animated movie? On top of that, a dark, intense murder mystery with elements of horror, and I mean rated R15. That would be happening in the cat world. Also, no queer agenda is shoved in your face like the big studios shamelessly do for whatever pathetic reason. If you're making a confused sound, thinking, does it even exist? My answer is yes, and I'm here to share with you one of the best animated detective thrillers you haven't watched or most likely haven't even heard of. Allow me to introduce you to a 1994 masterpiece from the era when people were not offended by everything and creators were concentrated on creating instead of playing PC idiocracy. Please welcome Felidae. There will be some spoilers, so if you want to enjoy this gem firsthand, it is available at DARKROOM.film with almost 1,500 other carefully selected shows, movies and animations for you to enjoy for only $1.99 a month for life as free with no price increases ever while the offer is available. And when I say rated R15, I mean it. There is sex, blood and severe violence. Don't show it to your 10 years old. Here we go. Meet Francis, a smart domestic cat that moves into a new neighborhood with his owner who keeps switching houses. The can opener, this is how cats of this world call humans, makes his living by writing novels. He reads a lot and carries with him books that help him write. I have to highlight that cats of this world, at least educated ones, can as well use computers and gather information from the books. Knowing this will actually help you to more easily follow our hero's adventure. The house where Francis moved in seems really strange and smells like chemicals. While exploring the territory, he meets a cat by the name of Bluebeard. Francis runs into him at the moment when the guy discovered the dead body of the cat with the throat violently turned open. The new pal shares a blood-chilling update that this was the 4th killing in the neighborhood and blames everything on humans, while Francis suggests that the evidence doesn't support Bluebeard's accusation and splits. He finishes the day by learning that the house belonged to some sort of a doctor and connects the strange smell inside the house to this finding. Troublesome atmosphere and savage murder scene cause Francis to have disturbing dreams, which bother not only the protagonist but also the viewer. Because look at this nightmare fuel.
Come here, little one. Come here and see what a beautiful gift I have for you.
The next morning, Not even having time to wash off the night horrors, Francis wakes up to Bluebeard delivering the news about another murder. Our hero isn't too excited about getting involved with the serial killer scenario, but can do nothing about it because, as you know, curiosity killed the cat. On the way to the crime scene, they run into a strange and dangerous representative of the local cat world, Gigantic Kong, with his thugs who challenges them to a fight. Even though Bluebeard doesn't seem to be smart, but appears to be brave and dedicated and has no problem participating in the brawl side by side with Francis. However, Kong says it was a joke, but threatens to catch up with our hero later. Francis doesn't feel too frightened and continues with the investigation. They studied the body of the new victim and found a gruesome wound similar to a previous case. The other strange observation Francis made was that both victims were aroused at the moment of the murder and assumes that it was the competitor who did the killing. Not having any other ideas, the friends decide to talk to more cats the next day. Francis returns home to a strange noise from the depth of the house that his owner didn't notice and was peacefully sleeping. Francis follows to the source of the disturbance and discovers a laboratory in the depth of his house where, at the moment, buckle your seatbelts, a cat cult conducts the fanatic worship paired with the sacrifices by electrocution in the name of the feline deity Clandandus.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Come into the light in the name of Clandandus, whose immortality is assured. He will judge nations. Those who believe in him will know truth, and the chosen shall know his blessings and mercy. Save us, Clandandus!
I told you this isn't your mainstream boredom and it only gets darker. Francis peeks at the scary ritual through the hole in the ceiling. Unexpectedly, he spots Kong and Bluebeard. Shocked, Francis missteps, dropping a pebble down. The crowd, disturbed by his presence, chases after him. Francis runs for his life across the rooftops. One of the roof windows flips under him and the fellow collapses into a room with the pretty kitty Felidae. They engage in a friendly conversation. Francis discovers that she heard cries of dying cats and hopes that the lady can help with the investigation, but is shocked to find that Felidae was blinded by humans in her childhood and doesn't have many details to share. Nevertheless, she is familiar with the Clandandus sect, suggesting Francis stay away from them. Their peculiar conversation gets interrupted by Bluebeard, who shows up to say that all those fanatic cats chased Francis only to have a talk after all. Francis has serious doubts about the innocence of those angry folks' intentions. Nevertheless, he continues the investigation, knowing that even if Bluebeard isn't smart, he is loyal. And they leave Felidae by herself. Friends arrive at the house that looks like it belongs to an art collector and has Kama Sutra posters on the wall. Before meeting the house cat Pascal, Francis notices a gigantic portrait of apparently the place owner Mendel, who gives the impression of a cult leader. Pascal, who mastered the use of the computer, shows our hero the detailed neighborhood cats database he created and will gladly share it with Francis in order to help solve the murders. By the way, you'll be surprised to know that Pascal's ability to use the computer is actually later explained quite logically and is plot-based. Francis spots that all the victims were the same breed and believes that it has something to do with the killer's choices. Pascal, however, ruins his theory, saying that the new victim was the Felidae, who is completely different breed. Poor Francis freaks out, because who wouldn't, stating that he just left her house. He rushes back to the pretty kitty's place to find her with her head chopped off. The animators didn't waste an opportunity to provide you with all the gory details of her death. Francis, shocked and mad at such a development, takes it personally and makes a promise to Bluebeard and himself that whoever killed the poor blind girl is going to pay for his crime.
I swear that whoever murdered Felicity is gonna pay for it.
You hear me, you bastard? I'm gonna make you pay!
We'll get you, shithead.
He deduces that these crimes are too calculated to be the result of madman actions, and the killer is apparently watching Francis, because how else to explain that Felidae was killed right after he left her house? Then Francis has a nightmare so weird, gross and scary as if animators tried, not without success I admit, to give it to the viewers as well, because look at this shit.
The solution to the riddle is actually very simple. It's in the word Felidae. Evolution has created an astounding number of various creatures. Not one, however, deserves the respect and wonder that Felidae has earned. Do not forget the message of Claudandus. That is the key. Hop! 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 And hop! 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 And hop, hop, hop. Hybrid plant experiments. Why is it that the peas in this pod are as alike as peas in a pod? Hybrid plant experiments.
I won't even spoil you much because the story will take a few more sharp turns, saying that these grotesque visions are actually a key to solving the case. To refresh his mind and body, Francis goes rat hunting. It takes him into the basement of the house where he finds the videotape where the drunk doctor keeps performing horrific experiments on cats, all of which but one died in the process. Guess what? The name of the survivor is Clandandus. Correct, the deity that cat cult was sacrificing members in the name of earlier. The evil doctor also shares another important detail. He says that Clandandus produced offsprings, which put the foundation to creating the new pure breed of cats. You are correct, this is a direct reference to the Nazi eugenic experiments during World War II, aiming to create a perfect race and erase all other unworthy ones. Francis's tape watching gets interrupted by the big cat Kong with his thugs, who showed up to keep his promise from earlier to catch the hero when he is by himself. Francis has no other chance to survive other than to try to run away. During the chase, they stump upon yet another victim of the murder, a kitty named Felidae, who turns out to be pregnant from Kong. Mad with grief, for a moment Kong suspects Francis but momentarily realizes that it is impossible since they were fighting in the basement before getting here. At that instant they hear rustling in the bushes and an old, never-before-seen strange cat shows up. Kong, with his thugs, accuses the newcomer of the death of his pregnant girlfriend and rushes after him. The stranger has no problem with leading the gang and shakes them off his tail. Francis, being smarter, more patient, and more observant, is able to pick up the track of the outlander and follows him into the secret tunnel under the neighborhood, where his investigation takes a whole new spin. I'm not going to spoil the rest of the story for you, just mention that all the elements of the puzzle will start to fall in place in the most impressive way and lead to the explosive finale where not everyone survives, while some turned out to be absolutely not who they appeared at first. And if you want to enjoy this true gem of an animated dark murder mystery, you can do so at DARKROOM.film, with new arrivals posted weekly. I'll leave the link in the description, and no game monologues. Good luck, have fun, and see you later.